Welcome back, our amazing viewers, and we welcome you to this particular topic. Like I had mentioned in the previous episode, that we'll be touching on the topic on education in Africa, the education system in Africa. So, generally, Mr. Mundia, how do you feel about the education system in Africa?
The education system in Africa is pathetic. I think one of the things that killed us so much is using European languages, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we were using our own language, it would be better. Because you see that I went to school. I remember when we were studying this science, Yeah, science. There's that what you call water electrolysis. You know that, right?
What is that?
That one where you put two, 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 what is this? What do you call these tubes? Beakers. Yeah, you put those two beakers in a water bath. Then you boil water. Okay, you boil water. Then there's what you call cathode and the anode. Okay, so when you boil water, because water is made out of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, yeah. So when that oxygen, the oxygen will come and settle on top of the beaker there. Okay, so and hydrogen will also settle there. So normally you find that hydrogen is smaller and when oxygen is bigger. Okay, yeah, or is more. Yeah, so the way the way I could remember this is oxygen or this is hydrogen is because of the size. Because the teacher, I don't know if I didn't hear or not, because the teacher did not explain to us why oxygen is going that side and why hydrogen is going that side. Do you understand? Yeah. So which now we just had to memorize. Okay. Do you understand? Yeah. So our education is just based on memorizing. Even explanations, definitions, we are memorizing. So what kind of education is that where you have to memorize even an explanation?
Yeah, that's when you're saying this, really my mind took me back to school and how we had to just memorize definitions. Like there was no much practicality to it, because I think it's easier to understand anything when they show it to you practically, meaning that you won't write with definitions, but you explain it even in your own words.
Yes.
You'll be able to express that.
Yeah.
Okay, that is very true. Now, before you went into that part, you talked about languages. You feel like our education system should be more in our local language. Don't you think there's a limitation of words?
Yeah, that's what the problem is. We are too late because our ancestors or our parents were lazy, very lazy. They did not develop our languages. Because even English, you find that, for example, we have a word which is called tsunami. Okay, but if you go to the dictionary, you find that word, tsunami. They will explain as a big wave, whatever. So this word came from Japan. Do you understand? Yeah. So you find that English, there are so many words came from different languages, which were not there before. If it, like, for example, if you dig out somebody today, a British man who died 500, 1,000 years ago, and ask him what is tsunami, he doesn't know. Yes. So our parents did not develop our languages. That's why we have very little vocabulary. We don't have vocabulary. So it's very difficult for us to use our languages. It's too late somehow.
Wow.
Because our languages don't even have words which can be applied in sciences and mathematics. No, we don't.
You feel like the education system in Africa it doesn't help in any way?
It's not helping a lot. That's why we see that we can't even manufacture, because we can't manufacture without understanding. We have to understand for you to manufacture. Because there are a lot of complications, complex in science and mathematics. So you see that, it's terrible because even our teachers are memorizing to teach us. Do you understand? They don't understand. That's why you see a teacher coming to teach chemistry or physics. He's coming with a textbook and reading. After they finish reading, he's even asking us, "Do you understand?" Understand what? So teachers are one of the biggest problems because science and mathematics, they are very interesting. Those subjects are very interesting and they're very practical because we live with them. Because chemistry is what we do, what we see every day. Physics is what we see every day. Mathematics is what we see every day. But people don't see it because the teachers themselves don't see it too. So how can students or pupils say it?
Okay, I like Mr. Mundia the fact that you are a teacher,
Yes.
right? And how do you think is the best way to educate people, especially with the same subjects you've mentioned, mathematics and science? What do you think are the best ways in which this education can be given to these people without them having to memorize? Because their formulas, if it's in mathematics,
Yeah.
we had to memorize
We have to memorize.
formulas.
You don't know the reason.
You know, yes.
Yeah. We don't know the reason why it's like that.
You know, and it was really, yes, a lot of memorizing and memorizing definitions as well, with physics, especially with the where we had this is this that,
Yes.
acceleration is this. They were just those things that you just had to memorize. So how do you feel is the best way to give this knowledge to a student without necessarily having to memorize, because this has been happening for a very long time?
Yes. Yeah. So these things are. We have a big. I think we have to bring a lot of practicals. Yeah, because we have too much theory. Yeah. So we should bring a lot of hands-on things, projects, so that people can say what's the reason. Because, like for example, if we talk about volume of a cylinder, a cylinder like a tin, huh? Yeah. So volume of a cylinder. So it's very easy to explain that, to make somebody never forget or even to remember or to memorize, just to understand. Because once you understand, you can't forget. So, for example, you can say a volume of a cylinder. A cylinder just a volume of a cylinder, just like we say those circles piled to somewhere there, pipped up together. You understand? Yeah. So what? Because once you know, once you first somebody should explain why the area of a circle is this. You understand? So now you multiply that area with the height of the cylinder. It's there. Do you understand? Yeah. Because height is the so just like height is the height is just multiplying. It's just multiplying or adding, or just say adding the circles together. So you see that our teachers don't know how to explain things like that. So they are also memorizing to teach, which is very bad, because you find that if, just for example, in this room, do you know, in this room or in this world, in this Lusaka, whatever, you find that what makes Lusaka, what made this room, are only three things. It's only mathematics, chemistry, and physics. But if you go to our schools, you find that in a class of 50 pupils, only one or two pupils are good in mathematics.
And it's very common.
Yes. So you find 48 of them, they don't understand. They have no clue. You understand? They don't have any clue. Yeah. So now, how do we develop? Because 48, they don't know anything. Only two know something. Do you understand?
Yes.
So they are very good with this, what you call social sciences, which is just for talking. Because social sciences, they can't live without math. Because chemistry and mathematics, they have to bring something what people need, and to sell and to do things. Otherwise, without those things, nothing's happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
And if every time I think about school, I feel like the most helpful subjects or topics was where we went and it was demonstrated, where it's very practical. And even when you're sitting down in an exam room, you said, oh, that is what my teacher was doing when he got this, and demonstrated it, where it was really practical. That is very true. Now, I want to get a clearer picture on what education outside Africa is like. I know we're talking about this, the way it is in Zambia, but do you have an idea, or have you seen the education system outside Africa, and what makes the difference?
Yeah, of course. Outside Africa, they have material. Do you understand? So even actually today should be much easier today, because we have internet, and unfortunately in Zambia you see that we still have a problem with internet, because internet has brought everything on the table, easy to whatever, but we don't know how to read, or we are not curious. Okay, outside the world, outside in other countries, they have a lot of material. They have very cheap internet, and they have nice labs. Okay, yeah. So so everything they teach. Actually they do more practicals more than theory, because theory just to give us an idea sometimes. You understand? Yeah. So then when you go to practical, then you see the reality of the thing. Yeah. So what helps them a lot is they're hands on. You understand? Yeah, they're hands on. They're not like just reading without seeing anything. Yeah, memorizing all the time. Yeah, yeah. So they are too much in, and they have apart from laboratories, they also have factories. They can take their pupils or their students to go and see what's really happening. Because even me, when I was studying that side, we went to factories many times. Yeah, yeah. So you see what is happening.
That is true.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And
So you see that in our country, where can you go? You see that even when you go to this where they do mechanical engineering, there's no car, there's no engine, there's no even whatever, nothing. Nothing is there.
So the actual education is hidden away
Yes, it's
from
not there.
people, from students.
Yes, and the school itself can't even afford to buy a car or engine for the pupils to see the real engine.
I see that.
Yeah. I think we have a problem of not seeing what should be done. We don't put a lot of effort and make sure that things are there.
Yes.
Yes.
Could be also the exposure, right? Because majority of our teachers have just been born and bred in Zambia. They've learned things systematically. It's been like
Yeah,
that
it's
since
true.
1970
Yeah.
what, and they feel it's comfortable. That is how it should be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, exposure of course is important, but us as Africans, sometimes we should know that white people or Asians, they are not our elder brothers. Do you understand? They are not our elder brothers. We were born on the same day. So why should we why should we be waiting for them all the time to teach us? They should also come when they get exposed. Why it's only us to get exposed from them? Exposure should be also from us. Why every time we have to get exposure from them?
That is true.
Yes.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually where we end this particular episode. I think from here we'll be very intentional about what our kids go to school to do, and the learning system in Zambia.
How can you? How can somebody memorize explanation? Memorizing definition. Is that education?
It's what we've been exposed to all
That's
our lives.
not education.
What is it?
I'm supposed to explain a word in any way, as long as it means the same.
It's the same thing.
Just like we can say that I'm going for, I'm going to, I'm going whatever. The meaning is the same. I can use any word as long as the meaning is the same. But I have to explain, I have to memorize the explanation. That's education? Oh, come on, man. That's nonsense.
Okay. That is really true. I mean, if you think about it deeply, it really doesn't make sense. And this is actually where we end this particular edition, jumping into our next topic of discussion, which is a broke woman, a woman who really is a broke woman. What makes a woman broke? Right? That is what we're going to jump into right after we end this particular edition. So stay tuned. Remember to keep subscribing and invite people, like, share, and comment, share your thoughts. That's what we love to see, the feedback that comes from you. Goodbye for now.